You know, in the past, we've done a ton of viewer rig walkarounds, and we're just getting started for 2023. And behind me, of course, it's probably one of the coolest ones we're gonna see all year, a 2018 Jeep JL Mojito, Hemi swapped with just about every accessory that you can put on this thing. But we're gonna be walking around this Jeep today. Rich, a good friend of ours, came down and you drove all the way from New York to check this Jeep out. But the coolest thing about this Jeep is that it's also going to be for sale. So stay tuned to the end of the video. We're gonna talk about everything that's added onto this. Hopefully Rich will let me take it for a little bit of a test drive around here. And we're gonna just check out this super badass Jeep. This originally started life as a 2018 JL Rubicon. Now, of course, it is in that super rare and limited Mojito color. It's one of my and Ryan's absolute favorite colors, and I gotta say, it is really sick to see one completely built up like this. Since it was a limited run color, you don't see too many on the road. And in all reality, it was only available for a short period of time on the initial first year. When Rich first got this Jeep, he factory ordered it and then decided to lease it just because it was a 2018. I think all of us were a little bit leery back in 2018. How's the new body style gonna do? How's the new engine? Are there gonna be any quirks, any little things going wrong with it? So he did lease it first off. Obviously, it's almost 5 years later. This Jeep is doing incredibly well, but that's with some help from just a couple aftermarket accessories onto it. So as far as the front end goes, we do see the factory steel bumpers with the end caps removed. We've got a lot going on. So we do have a worn Xeon, and I believe this is a 10S here. And then we're accompanied throughout this entire rig with Rigid Industries lights. So we've got a pair of the 360s up here with an SR Series 10-inch right up front, and then back it up with a Factor 55 Pro Link. But overall, he said he was debating going with an aftermarket front bumper. But let's be honest, if you already have the steel stubby, you put the winch plate in there, this is a very clean looking setup, and it does give you a ton of options to mount lights onto here, still get it all nice and compact and very factory looking. So I'm very happy with the way that this looks. Oh, and then look, another pair of hidden rigid lights in the factory fog light points. It's another little kind of factory upgrade too. Rich swapped these out for the Gladiator grill inserts, which do have the larger hexagon holes, and then blacked out these. So these are typically that dark granite. Those have been blacked out. We got a nice protector up here. And then on the hood, Ryan, if you can see that, we do have the S&B complete Rubicon setup. So this actually allows cold, fresh air to come right into the hood and replaces those factory Rubicon vents. I haven't seen those in person yet, but Rich also said these include a pair of covers too. So if you're driving in inclement and rainy and wet weather, you can cover these up. Or if you're in sand or really dusty conditions, cover them up and then it's completely sealed. These look really neat, but we're not going to show you what's hiding underneath the hood. You're gonna have to wait till closer to the end where we fire it up and really check out what's underneath here. So he did opt for the color match fender flares, which I absolutely love, and then did the inner chop as well as the American Adventure Lab fender design, which it kind of incorporates the entire turn signal and running light into here. When he was driving behind me down to the lake here, these are actually sequential on there too, so it looks really, really sick. He partnered that up with the American Adventure Lab inner fenders, and then all of this Jeep too, I love what he's done. He's done a lot of color matching, which I love to see that, and I think it really sets apart just your average build to someone that really cares about their vehicle and wants it to really look factory plus. And then going with the suspension. So the suspension is a little bit of a mixture of what was available back in 2018 and at the time of the build. So we have a full Synergy kit. We've got the coil springs up front, and then those are partnered with the Falcon Series 3. Are they 3.1s or 3.3? They're the 3.3 Falcon shocks, which I ran on my JL Hemi swap, and they did great. They give you a ton of adjustability, some fine tuning. We still do have the factory Rubicon disconnect on here, and then Rich has brand new in the box at home the PSC full hydro kit for this Jeep. The one thing I did want to show you, and I don't want to hear about it from a lot of you guys sitting at home, is that these KMC Grenade wheels only have 5 lug nuts in there. So we do have a 39.5 by 13.5 on 17 BF Goodrich KM3, but we've only got 5 lug nuts. Now there's a reason for that. A lot of you guys at home, why didn't you go to 1-tons? Why didn't you do a full swap on this? And that was because of the purpose of this build. Ultimately, when it comes down to building your Jeep, you've got to design it for what you're going to use it for. Now that's not to say what's inside these axles are stock, because there's 488 gears, AFE differential covers, and RCV axle shafts front and rear. So they're pretty beefed up. And as you guys know, the new 392s that come out, they're only running Dana 44s front and rear, and they're still able to hold up to it. With this build, it was not designed to go bouncing out in Moab on the rocks and really going crazy. It was designed for the specific intended use of the owner. So this is going to be perfectly fine for your daily driving, for hitting a lot of trails, because you do have some upgrades in that axle. And then ultimately, it's not adding another $30K price tag to the build. So a way to keep it nice, keep it clean, and still have enough strength. It's a beautiful build, and I wouldn't knock it just for that. We all don't need 1-tons. I just overheard that Rich does like lighting. So right up here, some more rigid 360s, another 20-inch across the middle of the hood. There's the other rigid 360 over there. And then inside, behind the 5% tint is the Quadratech Stealth light bar, which gives us a nice marker light under the America's Most Wanted 4x4 logo up there. And then just a little quirky one I noticed, BF Goodrich windshield wiper blades. So that's just like, when you tell a build is done, like you got BF Goodrich blades to match your tires. That's pretty cool. Speaking of lights I haven't seen before, I've seen these online and I always wanted to check out a set in person, the DC Designs cow panel light kit. Now what I like about this is that you can actually order these paint matched. You can see that Rich did them in the Mojito here, so they match actually very well. This is not an easy color to match paint wise because there's so much metallic and flake in it, but overall I think this is a clean look. And these not only have a marker light that'll flash with the turn signals, Rich just let me know about that, but there's a white light in here too that can kind of be used as a side light if you're camping, if you're off-roading. This will really help see what's going on the side. So like I said, just a ton of customizations to this. Rich just mentioned he has a 6.4 liter V8 little keyhole cover. These are from Freedom, I believe it's called. I've looked at them. They make key fob replacements and a lot of cool other bolt-on accessories, but that's a nice touch. And especially here in New York and PA, it is freezing today, and you don't want to have these lock up if you can't get in your vehicle. As far as armor on the side, this is one that I would love to do to my Jeep. These are the Rockslide Engineering power side steps. What's nice about this one is he actually did opt for that skin on the outside too, so that's going to protect the steps if you do wheel this. Then the best part, for us short kings out there, I'm not too tall, and this is very easy for me to climb into that, especially the wife, the kids, you have them going in. It's nice and safe. They have stops in there, so it's not gonna crush your leg. And also, it's just a nice setup. They have a nice seal in between here that's gonna protect your Jeep if you are wheeling it. And then for those daily drives, very easy to get in and out of. And then one thing I forgot to mention up front is that this entire Jeep is equipped with the full TerraFlex big brake kit. Just gonna stop a heck of a lot better than any sort of factory braking, even on the new Extreme Recons and 392s. These rotors and calipers are absolutely massive. So a lot going on the back here. I had the same style setup when I Hemi swapped my 2018 JL, and honestly, it's making me a little jealous because I do like the spare tire delete. I think it gives it an absolutely clean look. And also, before you guys yell about it, he has a 39.5, same size wheel and tire setup just sitting at home in the garage. So if you want to go wheeling, you can throw it in the back and still be good to go. But on here, we've got the American Adventure Labs. The state of New York actually designated AMW 505 for him after he did the swap. I'm just kidding, he applied for custom plates, but a really cool touch, and it matches the entire build. We've got, once again, a rigid 10-inch SR series light that he custom fabbed a bracket for and got it to mount up there. A super clean and sleek look, and it's still got about a 1/4 inch of clearance, maybe a little bit less, onto the tailgate. We got our camera integrated, third brake light, and license plate lights. And then I believe these are also by American Adventure Labs here, the D-snubbers. I don't know, they look good though. It removes the holes here because what you would have here is you have the jounce, those big bumpers that hold the spare tire, and those remove them to give it a really clean look. 6.4 liter on the keyhole again. But then on the bumper, so we have an LOD series rear bumper, color matched worn D-rings on the left and the right, and one in the center as well. 7-pin, 4-pin, and more rigid flush mounted lights. So if you want lighting, this is the Jeep that's got a ton of lighting for you. Once again, we're looking at the inside, we're looking at what's been done to it. We do have the American Adventure Labs full tailgate table onto here, which with the full cutting surface, and then a step further, more lighting on the inside. So if you guys are camping, you're out on the trail, you just need to fix something, we do have a full light on the inside of here. And then Rich was telling me he matched this red instead of going with the Mojito to tie back into that red on the Rubicon stitching and that red and green accent piece. I love the way that that was set up, and honestly, I haven't seen this tailgate table yet in person, and it's very, very beefy. It's a nice looking kit. The biggest thing that I like is it actually replaces this side too. So typically what you have with the tailgate kits, you still have the plastic all under it. This replaces that whole plastic piece. I'm a big fan of that, and I think it looks great, especially with the light integrated. And that's just a simple touch on and off here. And this is a magnet, right? This is a magnet for your knives and forks and spoons. So when you're like Martha Stewarting it out there on the trail, you can put everything right up there. And you're... Wait, a bottle opener? Oh, right. There's a bottle opener right here. Just stop. A bottle opener integrated, and it catches the caps here. Oh, are you kidding me? So when you're drinking the IPAs and everything at all your Jeep shows, you can save all the caps back there. That's just neat. A lot of tiny little finishing touches on this Jeep. This is one of the coolest ones, and I haven't seen one of these. If you guys are familiar with the build plates that they do on the standard Jeeps, you can see the entire build plate is custom made by America's Most Wanted 4x4. It goes over the 6.4 liter Hemi, 505 horsepower, 495 torque, who it was built for, the VIN, the build date, everything. It's also a very clean back cargo area. You can see that Rich did add the ARB jack system, which I absolutely love, and I remember when that came out, plus the base plate too. So if you're ever on some uneven conditions or terrain, you can utilize that. One of the coolest things, and something I've been debating, a power tank versus a compressor. I've been a huge fan of the ARB singles and twins, but you can see we do have the full power tank kit in here with a custom made bracket that goes onto the back sill there, and then also their accessory kit tucks up underneath it. When the seat folds forward, you have access to it, but right like this is a very clean back setup. We've got the full rock hard kit that connects your B pillar roll cage all the way to your C pillar, and then from A to B, and the full windshield surround. It was all color matched in the Mojito. Honestly, if I didn't tell you it was aftermarket, you would think, man, Jeep really cares and they put all these in from factory. It looks so clean. That's what I say about a build like this, it's factory plus. So everything looks like it could be factory, but it's aftermarket and done just extremely well. So on the interior of this Jeep, we did notice the American Adventure Lab, he's replaced the netting that goes behind here. I absolutely hate the netting on the doors because you guys know as much as I do, if you put one water bottle in there for like an hour, it sags and hangs out the door and just looks like absolute crap. But I gotta tell you, this Jeep, I believe, only has over, it might be 15,000 miles on it, with just a couple thousand miles on the swap. The leather looks brand new in here. And then even on 120, 130K build, you still got to put the Yeti cup holder adapter. So that was, Rich watched the video on the adapter, put one in here in the rear center console to hold that big Yeti, and look, it's doing it. So guys, if you have a build, you got to put one of these in there. You can see, I believe these are the Bar-Tact brand here. We have Bar-Tact handles on the top, Bar-Tact on the rear of the headrest. All right, guys, so obviously a lot going on in this Jeep. The cool thing back in 2018 with the Mojito, they still gave you the gray dash panels. They wouldn't put the red in here, so they gave you the gray. But we've got a lot going on. So obviously you can see we do have the bullet point mounts for the iPad, and then one right here. Bullet Point, as you know, is a sponsor of this channel. And then on the inside, here's that Quadratec Stealth light bar. So we have that right on the inside here. And then you can see if we flip the soft top back, and we've got the full rock hard cage going on with the tie-in here, and then also the tie-in for that front roll cage. It looks absolutely sick. The next cool thing is that there is an S-Pod Bantam complete wireless system in here that utilizes the Bluetooth connection, where you can turn on all of those lights that surround the entire outside of this vehicle with a complete touchscreen. So that's right up here to your left. Another cool thing is with the America's Most Wanted kit, they actually swap out all of the bezels too. So all of the kind of graphics and artwork, they put their own custom touch, as well as add them on to your four-wheel drive shifter, your transmission shifter, and then your grab handle over here. And then Rich added on the 6.4 liter right on the dash. So this is just a really clean build on the inside here. And I like the fact that he does have the 5% tint on the brow, and then this, it's like a cockpit. I mean, you really feel like you're about to take off, and with this engine, you more than likely can. Speaking of engines, we've held it out this long. Let's go check out the 505 horsepower 392 under the hood. There you have it, guys. What we've all kind of been waiting to see, the 392 cubic inch 6.4 liter Hemi, capable of making 505 horsepower, and I believe it was just over 480 pound-feet of torque, as it said in the back. We've got the Odyssey battery, the full AMW swap kit in here, and I gotta say, that's the reason I like the AMW kits, because even when you pop this hood, knowing that it was a swap, it doesn't look like it was a swapped engine. We've still got the valve covers. We've got everything that makes it look factory underneath here. And overall, I know we're planning a trip to head out there in the springtime to check out Jared and his entire team. This is an absolutely awesome build underneath the hood. When you're looking for a swap kit, this is exactly what you should be looking for. And if you guys are interested, definitely check out America's Most Wanted 4x4. But I think we ought to hop in here and take it for a cruise, because Ryan's already got my mechanics gloves on. It is freezing out here in PA, and I just want to try this thing out. So let's take it for a spin and see how it feels. All right, Rich is in the passenger seat on camera, making his camera debut. This is the first time I've driven the AMW swap. Like, I did a swap, you know, that a while ago, but this is the first time in the this 6.4. So it's smooth though. I mean, but it drives like a factory Jeep. That's the craziest part.
70 miles an hour on the highway the whole way here, pin straight, no vibrations, nothing.
Well, that's what you said. Yeah, you came 70 mile an hour, pinky on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Does the auto stop still work when I go to a red light? Does it shut off?
Yeah.
Does it really?
Oh no, it's deleted because they put the taser.
I was playing with you. drives well. It drives really smooth. Like it. I mean, besides the 39s and the Hemi swap,
I
like
have a little
doesn't.
bit of pressure up in the tires too. So
Okay.
for the highway. Usually,
Yeah.
Usually I run them around 26, 27.
Get a smoother ride. Yeah, but you're on the highway. You're getting better fuel economy.
That's what I figured.
What do you see? It says 11 on here average. That's probably, what is it?
It's probably
Depends on how heavy you go on the pedal,
it's
huh?
about right. Probably down, if not maybe 10.
Yeah.
But not much.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's miles per gallon, right? I like the steering feel though. This feels a lot smoother, honestly, than mine, steering wise. And you still have the factory box on here?
No, that's actually the PSC big board.
Oh, the PSP. That's why. Okay.
Yep.
It's like a lot even than with my 37s and beadlocks. This turns really easy.
Yep.
It's not unmanageable. I think a lot of folks look at a Jeep like this and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, but when it's built right, like you can still daily this. I would have no problem dailying this. No weird squeaks, vibrations. The engine, no check engine lights. It's not like a homebrew swap kit. I mean, it feels all integrated.
Yeah, that was my whole thing with going with them out in America's Most Wanted. Everything was from day one, talking about the build leading up to it, everything I wanted to do to it. They walk me, they basically walk you through the whole entire process, depending on your budget.
Yeah.
It's really what it comes down to, what you want.
Yeah, see, that's a little louder than my 2-liter I have in there.
It lets you know it's there.
And you said you've done a burnout once in it just after you got it done, but it'll turn them.
It'll turn them.
That's crazy. You're talking an almost 40-inch tire, and you're still able to spin it.
Oh, yeah.
I like this too over like a 392 that you can buy now because you can still put it in 2-wheel drive, and you don't need a taser to force it, and you don't have the transfer case that has the clutch packs in it for that full-time 4-wheel drive. You've just got a standard Rubicon transfer case.
It.
And I think when AMW, if they do a 392 swap, they put in a regular Rubicon case anyways. They have to. I don't know if it's something with the output shafts, but I've heard that they have to put just a Rubicon transfer case in there.
Yep.
I was gonna say, Ryan, we should drive by Dad's house and show it to him.
Yeah, I got time.
His house is like right in here.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Hey, where are you at?
Oh, there's the dog.
Are you outside? Yeah, pop outside quick. Yeah, it's my new Jeep out here. Pop outside quick. Get him on camera. Get a sneak shot of him. What do you think? See, a 505 horsepower in this. It's for sale.
No.
You could, if you want, you could get rid of your truck and get this.
Oh, yeah.
She sell your truck. It drives just like my old Hemi did. Like he's got, I mean, every part. You can tell the build quality. 11.
On a good day.
But he's got the color match cage. I mean, it's done. Like it's done.
We're all buckled in.
Watch your speed.
Try not to. See ya.
Here.
And that wasn't even all the way on it. That's just, and you know
You
that
can
was.
snap it. Go ahead. Don't be afraid.
Oh, jeez.
It don't matter to me. You ain't gonna break it. That's for sure.
I'll wait till this car passes and just get it a little bit here.
Give it a good rattle.
Oh
It's
man.
fun. It's definitely fun.
All right, I'll take it. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to thank Rich for bringing this Jeep all the way down to Pennsylvania. He's coming from New York. We're extremely glad to have you, Rich. So I appreciate that. Beautiful Jeep, beautiful build. Everything on here, it's done top notch. We got a chance to check out a lot of cool products today that honestly I hadn't seen in person. Some I did, but putting them all together in a build like this, it's neat for our viewers and for everyone back at home. If you're wondering how that looks with Mojito or how the fender chop looks, this is a great way to do it, and that's why we love doing viewer rig walkarounds. It's a great way to check out some cool rigs and then also see how people build them. You know, that's half the fun of building a Jeep, is actually building it out and putting everything together. The other thing I want to let you guys know, I know I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this Jeep is looking for a new home. So Rich has already got a Gecko Gladiator at home. His wife's got a Jeep. It's a whole loaded Jeep family. And this one just needs to find a new home at this point. So he's got a price in mind, but we're going to put my email down below. If you guys are seriously interested in this rig, checking it out, or just making an offer on it, it's going to be for sale, but only for the right buyer. If he doesn't get the right money for it, he can keep it in his garage. So that's no problem, you know. But if you guys are looking for a one-of-one Mojito 505 horsepower Jeep, you're not going to find it too many other places. So definitely reach out to me. And as always, thank you guys so much for joining in the channel. My name is Matt with Dirt Road CRED, and I'm going to go play with this Hemi a little bit more. But until then, get out there and earn yours.